Hi YouTube. I just cleaned this phone again. I had it thoroughly deep cleaned on all my apps, but it decided to shut off on me. So it's like, oh, take that, mouthing off to a Mason. You never know what they can do. You know, they do control a lot of every areas of our lives. They seem to enjoy that, but you know, I don't know. Doesn't matter. So bow to no one, part two. And I put unless they're a friend of truth on my first video, but actually, or before you spar out of respect, especially if you have to do something to them, it's like, yeah, well, at least you went down trying, buddy, or me if I got hurt. But nobody about me, they just like attack me first. So, you know, anyway, oh, I was going to tell you about that good channel I put on is Legends of History. It is from white papers. I read Jesuit white papers, the different the co- compilation, everything that's compiled there are from different authors through time, compared in correlation with the Bible, including like mythology from around the world and different cultures and what they believe. So far, this is one of the best, but because, like I said, like word for word, like in different universities or professors of theology or different opinions that were all compiled in these papers and read like a story so you could like really understand it. And then it's so easy to hear and pick out what the truth is that the I wouldn't say Masons don't know that, not really. And some people in our hearts, we know things just naturally, and the word of God is easy to read for some people like that. And I still recommend the King James, but also with God, if you can get the oldest Merriam-Webster's dictionary, 1921, if you could find like a 1920 Merriam-Webster's dictionary and compare it to the codes and the language that's used in the King James Bible, that would like ease the mystery of what people are trying to talk about or trying not to talk about. you know it would ease the pain. you know so anyhow, yes, and I if I get cut off again, I'm sorry. I'll probably just leave it there, but I'll tell you about something that Doug's going through. Okay, before I went out to Montana, or well, first the pump went out, so we replaced that, which isn't easy. It's new pipes and fittings, and not even the expense, but yeah, that too. And so right before I left, the hot water heater decided to go out. It's like, wow. I mean, and other things too. It's just been like crazy. But so for almost like a few weeks, Doug was looking for up around this area without going to the cities or the expense of having one delivered. We still had water and a means to heat water, so we had all kinds of pans and buckets, and we'd have like 15 gallons at a time every day, washing ourselves, but heating water to do that. So for like almost a month, finally he found one, you know, and or had it ordered up here is what he did. Yeah. So, and that was on his birthday. That was on April 20th, 420. So I was just coming home from Montana that day. So he had to go into town to pick it up. On the way in there had been a car accident, and there was air patrol, and there was like emergency vehicle. Um, Doug couldn't tell it was like yellow, but he couldn't tell. He didn't know it was the fire department. He just thought it was an emergency vehicle. But, it's neither here nor there. The cop's on the ground. He's got the truck and one of the longer trailers, a car hauler. Um, dude says, cop says to Doug, well, just turn around over in these people's yard. And Doug says, I can't turn around over there. It's too big, and I'm not going to drive on his lawn. And he didn't want to go into great detail to tell the cop. And he had a back injury from falling off a ladder that he couldn't really turn his head back like that to back it up. I mean, he can back up a trailer, better than I can, usually. Sometimes I get it just like right away, I'm okay. Other times, my dyslexia, even with that, a lot of people have trouble with that. But I mean, I can usually get it if I'm not stressed too bad or whatever, having a good day. But Doug can do that, no problem. Never, no problem. But he just told the guy, well, I can't do that. So the cop says, well, you're going to have to go in there and turn around or pull over. And Doug says, well, can you just motion me around? Because he told him he was on his way to get this. He only had so long, and the store was going to be closed, this little hardware store. So the cop said, Doug goes, so can I just go? And he shook his head, and the cop motioned him through. It was okay. So he's on his way to town. He wasn't speeding or anything. And unmarked, a whole different cop, highway patrol, pulls Doug over and said that he just got notice from the air that Doug had driven around a fire truck. And Doug told the cop, well, see, after he drove around, he pulled over and went back and asked the cop, we good? And the cop says, yeah, you know, told him, yeah, or let him go. So then a little bit later, this unmarked pulled him over and says that the sky cops said he drove around this vehicle. So now he's got to go to court. They want to get him for endangering, um, driving recklessly, and going around in a fire truck. And that cop, he got out, asked the cop, are we good? Cop let him go. This other cop pulled him over, and the air patrol had contacted him, but not the cop at the scene. Talk about lack of communication. So they got 3 charges against Doug, and they're trying to take his driver's license. So he's had his driver's license for let's see, he's 71. So he's had it for 60, let me see, 65, 70. No, he's had it for like 51, 55 years or something like that. No, like 50. He'd be, yeah, it'd be 56 years, you know? So, I mean, and never know, no. Well, one time he was on medication with a broken arm, and he was weaving and he was trying to drive, and he got pulled over, but he got out of that because he was on medication, but it didn't say no driving or nothing, and it was a pain reliever, but that was back in the day. But he had a good lawyer and he got out of that. But this time, I swear to God, our little county art here, they're like really trying to buffalo him, and or the word would be what's what would it be called, Oh, well, you know what I mean, like a railroad. That's what I'm looking for. Because just to make money off of people with tickets, so. And I mean, we got people that cook meth up around, not like next door or nothing, but like few miles away in trailers, or people got like campers off into the woods or something. Why don't you go get the real criminals that are killing people, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, we'll see how this comes. Wish them luck. What I wish for everybody, even if it infects me and inflicts me, but I wish for everybody to get what they truly deserve on every level. I really do, you know, seriously. If you deserve the world, then you should have that. If that's what God wants you to have, unless He's got something better for you. So, pardon me a minute. I'll light a smoke. I'll have another cigarette with you, and then probably let you go and come back talking about some other stuff. But I see I got a new message on from one of my pangender videos, and um, it's a lady because she still has a vagina and uses the bathroom that, how she pees. So I don't know if she'd have a mustache and she'd be in there. I mean, not like I haven't seen that anyway, but mm, but I don't know what she's trying to say. I read it briefly and I'll go back, and if it needs a comment on her, I'm not going to say it, um, whoever she identifies with, unless she wants to be in it. I don't know. But I'll just take it from there and, be as graceful as you can. Oh, sometimes lately, in all honesty, I usually don't do this, but I've gone back and I've just eliminated. Not if it was against me or something. If it's something that was so out there nonsensical that didn't even deserve a comment, I'm like, just need to go take a nap or do something, little guy or gal, or you know, I think your vitamins are off, you know, that type of. But, so I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Today, like I said, is just a lazy day for me. So, yeah. So far, later, like I say, I got fish I'm gonna cook, and it'll be all right. I don't like to cook as much as I used to. I used to just love it. I really did. And I didn't always care if I ate. I just love cooking food for people. So I'd eat with a lot of politeness, usually. Really, and then it would just like mess up my whole system because um, I eat once a day, and you know, so if I ate with them and they were eating later too, and it's like, okay, I'm not eating this with you guys, but I'll eat later here. You know, I try to do like that, but yeah, it's the way it is. Just don't eat if I don't need it. I really, if I have a little hunger pain, it's like, am I really hungry or am I thirsty? So making that distinction. And if I'm going to be thirsty, do I want sugar in me, or do I need protein? You got to really listen to yourself, what you put in yourself to make, or if you have work to do later, do you need like drink a milk or energy, or not energy drinks, but they do have vitamin waters. I would be careful with them though. It's the vitamin B12, though, that electrolytes and stuff that people get short on. A lot of times you really don't need the protein or any extra added sugars or nothing. You just need some vitamins and some salt, sometimes sugars, but not as much as what people think. And oh, I had a giant candy bar. It wasn't really giant, but it was kind of icky. It was a Kit Kat Duo, and it was mocha chocolate, which I'm not really big on coffee flavored chocolate anyway, but I've had some that are okay. But I woke up and I even cleaned my mouth before I go to bed, but I woke up tasting that mocha chocolate in my mouth this morning. It's, ugh. I don't know. I didn't like it. Doug's had them where that mocha or the duo mints. He likes that. And it tastes good, but I'm allergic to mint and chocolate. So it's like a double whammy. But I think they're the ones also that had a caramel one. I think I had them and they were good. So, yeah. But anyway, I don't know. Lately, and I like Mounds bars and Heath bars, but lately I've been just, I have M&Ms once in a while, but not often because of the coloring. I wish they'd make that coloring out of there, out of natural stuff. I don't think they do though, or just not even make them colored. But oh, I like Hershey. I used to like just plain Hershey's, but I like Hershey's and almonds. Those are lately, they're too good. And I like s'mores. About a month and a half ago, I made a s'more. Um, Graham crackers. Well, you know what they are. Marshmallows. If some of you don't, graham crackers, marshmallows, and Hershey bar, and melt the. Well, you can make them in the microwave or out on the campfire. I microwaved it. So yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd tell you the Doug saga. I don't know what they're going to do to him. Well, the worst part is um, when my ex got a lawyer, attorney for taking the kids away. He got the most expensive one in my town, and she's a judge now. But I went into her, and because I was having trouble with they had a guardian ad litem that didn't even talk to Doug, but they all just assumed that Doug and I were sleeping in the same bed. They all just assumed that he was acting as my children's stepfather without even talking to him. And I was working to stay here and renting here and paying for the phone and doing, like cutting the grass and maintenance and all that type of stuff around here, um, holding a job and then trying to go to school to learn another trade. So without even asking me, this guardian ad litem just assumed that Doug and I were intimate in front of my children, which couldn't have been further from the truth for 10 years. And so going into court, before they did, I went in and I talked to that attorney and I told her, I said, basically I wrote her a note and I told her, shame on you. Um, this man has charges on him here. He has uh, uh, charges on him in this place and stole from a bank and I have paperwork that he uh, lied to try and get Social Security, and they denied him, and he ran from child support to go and still owes me money, but was $80,000 for one kid, and he got out of that. I mean, he just freaking flipping snake. And I was supposed to be able to talk to my kids often. Well, anyway, and I thought if he had straightened up, it could be a good environment, but I knew it wasn't going to be because of the partying and the flandering and all the stuff, just really nastier than I can describe. So, and him getting with somebody that had money and came from money. And and I think, wow, is that ever a good thing that I taught him how to eat with the right fork when he went out to some place that would be above his means back in the day? You know, taught him some manners. Not that his mother didn't try, but she's into the cult. So that's what they do. But anyway, so my kids were over there and I was supposed to be able to communicate with them, and that did not work out. Nothing worked out. But Doug is going before this woman that was my ex's attorney. And that could be a conflict of interest if he wanted it to be. But yeah. Oh, there's more to that story about what went on with my kids going over there too. And boy, I almost really did have a nervous breakdown because of course, I was crying all the time. I wasn't crying in the courtroom, but it wasn't an easy thing. But yeah, it was really hard. So, but yeah, they came back. It's like neither one of them were really wanted there anyway. So, and they are hard to deal with. So anyway, let's see what else is going on in my world. Oh, I noticed I was really whispering when I first got this on my first video, part one. I was trying to be quiet in case I was interrupting Doug, but he has his headphones on anyway. But so if he interrupted me, I usually would just say, making a video, and he'd be like, what? Even if he heard me. So, yeah. I'm watching a pretty good movie. Partway done with it that I shared on Facebook, but you can look it up. It's called Stink, the full movie. And it's about the different fragrances and stuff that they put in our food, in our clothes, and which we all know are educated with quite a bit of that type of stuff. But the funniest thing in the whole part of it, I thought, was that these women that'll go get like Chanel number 5 or whatever, and I'm really sensitive to perfumes, and I can tell if something's just off, It's like, you know, but it's made with and they paid like $140 for a quarter ounce and pretty little bottle and whatever, and it's made with the same chemicals that is in toilet cleaner. Oh, that I was just about rolling. You can tell, man. Mm. And the same with that Axe body spray for men and stuff and them type of things. Um, oh, my one son would put that stuff on and be like, dude, just like take it outside and spray it before you're gonna go, because I cannot handle that. You'll make my whole day sick. So I like, fresheners and different things, but I gotta be really careful. So I was around some, and knowing that I'm allergic to different scents and stuff that were burning incense constantly, which is like totally a craft, and not just in the bathroom, but there too. But on a two-level house, it's like, come on, I know I smell like a cigarette, but this is flipping ridiculous. So anyway, but that's not what it was for. If you, um, well, the one of the worst perpetrators for any human being is sandalwood, and there's a couple other, but that's a real dangerous scent um, in witchcraft. Um, Yeah, that'd make a good video to kind of think on some scents, smells that they people would um maybe not. A lot of people know. Like anyway, I don't know. I'll think about it. But like this movie I'm watching, it's pretty radical. They go into it. Started with this man. Maybe you'll want to watch it, but he had like a couple of daughters, but his 8-year old had put on some pajamas and it had a smell on there that they couldn't get rid of. And he contacted every aspect of this company that's called Justice, I think, like Justice Children Wear, and they make other stuff or some name like that. I think that's what it was. So he contacted the top of the corporations and their marketing, and everybody couldn't get any truth to what was in this. And I always wash my clothes before I put them on anyway. But the new stuff, from the dyes or whatever, but they wouldn't let him know what was in there. So he went as far as to buy a share of the company and went to the stockholders meeting and had a conversation with the CEO, I believe, of the corporation. He's like, "Well, there's nothing I can do about it," and the dude's like, and I can't really tell you what's in it, because protective formula or whatever, and this type of thing. And if it would be dangerous, it wouldn't be in there anyway. And the dude's like, "Look, it has this in there, and yes, it is dangerous, and yes, you do." He's like, "There's nothing I can do about it," and the dude's like, um, yeah, you can do something about it. Get it out of those products right now, and stuff like that. So, yeah, this dad went above and beyond the call of duty for his children, trying to find and everybody else. So, um, I'm about probably halfway through the movie. It's about 140 minutes long, I believe. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it today or maybe tomorrow if I'm scrolling Facebook and oh, it's cloudy out. Yuck. Kind of. Um, we really could use some rain too, but I hope so. Oh, for the plants I transplanted, I got to get out there and water them in the morning at the latest because tomorrow's going to be another warm day. So, yeah. And the kitties I feed, they go. Well, I think we're feeding a woodchuck too. So he'll eat like Doug put out a 2 pound block of cheese for this woodchuck that lives under his shop. He burrowed a den under there, and Doug put some metal springs from a car down in the hole, and he just burrowed another way in there. So Doug made kind of like a flap for the thing. It's under 18 inches of concrete, so it's not like he's going to do anything to. And he's like, let them live. They got to live too. So Doug's got a woodchuck. It's a really cool one too. I saw his parent was huge, huge, like um, literally 3 foot long and about that big around. This one's about mid-size around and about yay long and kind of reddish colored hair um, and light, really pretty woodchuck. And funny, I think he saw my horse gallop because he'll look out wait till I'm looking out the window. Like I think because then it's safer if I'm watching him. But he galloped across the yard, and woodchucks usually waddle. And then another weird thing about this little thing, and I did not know this, I seen him up in a tree. He was about 20 feet up in a tree. And I'm like, because I heard some noise and I looked up there and I thought it was a red squirrel at first. And I saw how big it was. I was like, okay, this is like totally crazy. I didn't know that. Did you? So they climb trees. So Yeah, that's, yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you go. I wanted to get back on here and do that bow to no person but my Lord, you know. Or if I have a really good friend, I'd be like, yeah, um, no, honoring, honor a good friend. So, thank you, my good friends, for joining me. And I hope your week ahead brings blessings, you know, lots of good things for everybody, even the bad ones, if expose them for what they are and give them the decision to rise above that and be that example. That's all we can do, you know. And yeah, if you've had enough, it's like if you got a wound and somebody's sitting there and they keep poking a stick in your wound, pretty soon you're going to slap that stick away. And if they come at you with that stick again, you might have to slap their hand. You know, it's like, you know, I'm not saying put hands on nobody. I'm just saying with your attitude, you know, it's just like enough's enough, you know. So that's that. Just have a very nice week, and I'll be back probably sooner than later. I think I'm feeling a little better in life. Like I said, we were going through some really very strange times, even just like keeping clean to be able to sleep the next night, you know, and still be able to get things done and work. And, you know, it's hard to do. I mean, I can wash laundry with cold water and my dishes even had the hot water element to wash them clean, but boiling water to keep clean is a really hard thing to do that I've done even on a mountain or different places that I've lived. I've packed water and pounded wells and did things, heat and water crazy just to keep families clean and, you know, crazy. Lots of years of um, very strange manual labor, to say the least. So, yeah, God's keeping me strong. So, okay, everybody, peace and love, and have a good week, like I said. So, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.